Hi everybody, my name's Bridget, and today I'm wanting to talk about the feelings and discussion of like missed time in trans spaces, as in, feeling like you missed out on like childhood or adulthood, whatnot. And I just wanted to expose you all to a couple things that may change your view on that and make you feel a little bit better about these prospects that you similarly may be suffering from as well. So before I get too deep into this, I do want to add a disclaimer that what I talk about here may not be applicable to everyone's case. I'm basing a lot of the regrets or things I just discuss about things I've seen online or personal experiences to me. So not everything may be applicable, but I do hope that you come out of this video with a couple things that maybe helped you or just feeling a little bit better about everything related to being trans. Without further ado, let's get into it. Man, I'm looking at these recordings right now. I have the blue person eye stare right now. I feel like I just wanted to talk about that. So the feelings of missed time are something that I've personally been struggling with for a very long time. And while I'm very, very happy and grateful that I'm able to live my life the way that little kid me wishes that she could have, I do still have a lot of regrets over not getting to have found out who I am sooner and just getting to be me. All that being said, there's a couple things I wanted to mention on this topic and to really just put out there that might help others who are likewise struggling to come to terms with this. As a friend of mine, Zinnia, said to me, not everything is going to give us the closure that we want. And that sort of radical acceptance of just, knowing that this really sucks, but not allowing... Hi, Nigel. But, not allowing it to, make you miserable and just still finding ways to be happy is what I want to discuss. So starting off with clothing, I've been seeing a lot of discourse recently over femboys or, early in transition transfem individuals being mocked for having what's considered a generic cookie cutter type of fashion. Usually being the skirt, thigh highs, hoodie combo. And, you probably know the one. If not, I'll put it on screen. And I feel like this just discourse does not need to be a thing. People generally diss on these clothes, or in the broader range, people dressing under their ages, typical clothing range, because they see it as visibly queer, immature, unappealing to their eyes, a mix of the three or more. And while I'm not going to lie and say that these outfits are really going to help you pass necessarily because of these aspects, I mean, what does it matter? That's not the point of transitioning. Transitioning should never be pivoted in one direction to just suit some person's views of what the ideal trans person is. Whether that's an ally who supports people if they voice train and put effort into their transition, or, other trans people who think that you have to do it this way to fit these standards. In my eyes, and I'd hope most people, transitioning should only be done for the person who's doing it to just make them as happy as they can be. And yeah, I mean, these clothes might be generic, but so what? If it makes a person feel happy and affirmed in their body, then what's the harm in doing so? I really don't think that this discourse is productive for anybody. And I feel like the stigmatization just harms us more than anything, really. A lot of people who like to wear these outfits are typically going to be adults, as there's very, very few minors that get to transition early. And, a lot of these people really regret having missed out on these opportunities of their life where they did not get to dress in these ways that felt affirming for them. Whether, that's dressing in your 20s or teens and whatever it might be. And it does not hurt anybody to express that nowadays and take that back. A lot of people might grow out of it, a lot of people might not, but regardless of that, it's making a person happy. So if you enjoy any types of clothes, you really shouldn't feel bad about wearing them. Do it for yourself and make yourself happy. That's all that I'm going to say regarding this specific point. But my favorite trans YouTuber, Fairy Princess Lucy, actually uploaded a video specifically about this thing that I'm talking about right now. So I'm going to put that in the description if you want to look at it. She speaks really good about it and goes way more in depth. Next, I was wanting to discuss a couple thoughts I had regarding mindset around being trans. And while I don't expect these to magically transform anybody's life for the better, they have helped me in coming to terms with my situation, and maybe they'll help you too, even if it is just a little bit. I'm going to be running through these in like bullet-like segments. First, while it's very regrettable that I missed out on my female childhood, I do believe it's important to look forward and think of what the future holds for us. Due to the nature of aging, everyone's situation is going to be a bit different regarding this point, and I do recognize that I'm speaking from a very privileged position, having started transitioning 2 years ago at 20. But regardless of when you started, you most definitely have years, if not decades more of your life to live. And, depending on when, that might even be 2, 3, or 4 times the amount of life that you've already lived. That's a lot of time. And, assuming you're in a safe enough situation to do so and to be yourself, you now get to live as your authentic self for all of these years moving forward. And I think that's something that's really beautiful. Likewise, with more new and novel experiences, just, turning down roads that you don't typically go down, maybe trying out like a new restaurant, talking to a random stranger that looks really cool at the mall maybe, lots of really small things like that, trying out new games or shows. You can make time feel like it's going by so much slower, and 1 year can even feel like 2 or 3 years at a time, just because of all these new experiences, and life isn't really blurring day to day as it would if you're just on a cycle. While it's absolutely reasonable and understandable to be really, really upset about many years that you missed out on, as I say all this, I'm going to admit that I'm still very upset about having missed my childhood. I do think that it's important to think about these things and to try to move past it, as dwelling on it doesn't really do us any good. But aside from the point of just dwelling, there is a lot that lies ahead for us, and I think that's something that we should recognize and, be happy about. Second, although our identity status as trans can and does tend to exclude us from a lot of communities, unfortunately, it can also have the opposite effect and lead to you meeting a lot of really interesting and wonderful new people, and just forming many deep bonds with them so quickly just because of our shared experiences that many of us endure in this community. If it's not apparent from the trans slide in my background, or the theming of the trans colors across spaces I can personalize, or just how much I talk about it on this channel, I'm very prideful in this identity and think it's something that should be celebrated. And as a result of just being open about this, I have met so many wonderful people that I really cherish and talk to every day that I would not have met otherwise. And for example, even though I don't have them in currently due to some ear issues, I have these really, really pretty rock earrings that are like the Transmasc colors. I'll put a photo of them on screen. And literally just these earrings alone has made a lot of like new acquaintances at work or at college, as well as even 2 friends just by wearing these earrings, because people recognize them and were like, oh, this person's trans, they might be cool. And we just start talking and establish a really quick bond and become friends. And I think that's hella cool. Similarly, when identity is brought up, me just sharing my experiences of being a trans person has had a lot of other people share their experiences with me, and that has made me tens of friends. No exaggeration. And so many of them, again, I talk to so often and just adore their company. While it's perfectly normal and very reasonable to be bothered about our exclusion from spaces for our identity, something that we didn't exactly have a say in, the people who tend to exclude us aren't necessarily of the best moral character typically, or at best they're, misinformed or just a little bit ignorant. And I think that it should definitely be recognized that this community that we get to be a part of full of amazing, amazing allies and other trans individuals, is something that we should be celebrating and just be bringing up, because there's a lot of beauty in that. Lastly, for those who have passing as one of their goals, while it can definitely suck sometimes having to relearn so many basic just mannerisms or gestures to just sell that presentation to other people better, as a result of doing this, we're a lot more acutely aware of gender norms and societal condition, and are better than most people at understanding how gender really is just made up. And in return, it might help you realize ways that you're performing gender that you're not really a fan of, and you're more aware that you can just stop it. A lot of individuals under the, stress of society feel like they have to perform certain like actions to prove their masculinity or their femininity to other people. And by doing this like all day, constantly, and just having to repress their true selves, this can really exhaust people emotionally and just lead to them not even really understanding why. And, while it's going to be foolish to claim that we are completely immune to this sort of thing, because we definitely aren't, We've been taught gender before we're born with, like rooms being painted pink and with Barbie dolls or whatever, or, rooms being painted blue with monster trucks, before we're born. I do think that we're still more aware, generally speaking, of a lot of these like habits and have a lot easier time shedding them in favor of just really doing what feels right for us, instead of, feeling like you need to do something because it's feminine or you need to do something because it's masculine and whatever. Of course, if you want to do these things and you find euphoria and affirmations like from them, absolutely go for it. But a lot of people find themselves just doing things just to feel like, they're more like a girl or more valid or whatever because of them. And, the truth is that a lot of this stuff is not intrinsic to being a guy or a girl. All of this is assuming that you are a fellow binary trans individual. To the non-binary people, this information probably doesn't apply to you guys as much, but I hope that you guys still find it enjoyable. Now, I know that I didn't bring too much to the table to really think about today, but having gone through all these things, I hope that you leave the video feeling at least a little bit better about your situation. It's really not easy to deal with dysphoria alone, and the pressures of society as well as like trans infighting and all this stuff are not making it any easier for you. But our lives don't have to be miserable and so bleak. Remember to take breaks from the internet when you need to, and if any of what I said resonated with you or you feel helped you out, then try to keep internalizing it. We're all capable of deserving love just as much as anybody else is, and we're absolutely capable of experiencing it and being happy. Now, if y'all enjoyed the video or found it useful, I would absolutely love to receive a like, or even much more so a comment, as those really, really make my day, because you guys are just always so sweet to me. I really, really appreciate it. I read every comment, and you guys make me so happy. So thank you so much for it. But, as usual, there's absolutely no pressure to, and likewise, if you did not like the video, feel free to leave criticism or dislike it if you feel like this was, not really good with usage of your time. If you found this video useful, then you may also like my 7 tips for making voice training more easy video, which I will put in the description and pinned comment if that's, something that's like on your radar that you're wanting to do. And if you want to know me better, I have a fan club for my cat Nigel, and we have a lot of just really stupid, silly emotes of him. I actually use some of them in my thumbnails sometimes just because I think they're so funny. And I talk in there, and we would absolutely love to have more members and just have you. Finally, the amount of subscribers that I've been gaining recently is really mind-boggling to me. I know gaining 37 subscribers in a month is like nothing to most people and is relatively really small, but to me, that is 37 people who thought I was interesting enough to subscribe and want to see more from me. And that means a lot to me. Like, that's crazy. So thank you all so much. I might need to plan a 500 subscriber special, but I have no idea what to do, so. Anyway, I hope you guys all enjoy your day, and thank you so much for viewing.